Hi guys, and how are you doing? It's my sincere hope that you're keeping well. I've really missed you guys. It has been a long time since I did a video, and I've been getting so many requests from you, and especially on this particular topic of toxic work environment. Yeah, you've really told me to address this topic, and today is the day. We are going to talk about toxic work environment, and it is going to be a series of videos because it is a wide scope. And actually, that's the reason as to why I did not address it immediately. I had to really think about what you guys want me to talk about, what you want addressed. And so it is going to be a series of videos on this particular topic. I have really thought about it, and on today's topic, we are going to talk about what contributes to a toxic work environment because I realized that some people might be in a workplace which is toxic, but they do not know that it is actually toxic. You might think that some of the things that you're going through are normal, and in real sense, they are not. So, in today's video, we are going to talk about what contributes to a toxic work environment or signs of a toxic work environment. The number one sign that you're in a toxic work environment is being in an organization that has unclear structures, and that happens a lot. You find yourself in a situation where you don't know who to report to, or you're reporting to more than one boss, and they always give instructions like at the same time. That creates a lot of conflict. Let's say you report to who? To the CFO. You're supposed to report to the CFO, but then we have the MD there who is frequently asking for reports from you. So you find yourself going to the MD so often, and of course the CFO will get offended because you're not following the correct structure, the correct reporting structure. So that brings about conflict. You find that your immediate boss will start stamping his or her authority to show you that you're supposed to report to them. So that is one sign that you're in a toxic work environment where there are unclear work structures. The second sign that you're in a toxic work environment is now this one is kind of funny, and it happens a lot where people follow up meetings with emails. Like let's say you are in admin and you have a short meeting with a finance person. Maybe you agree that you're going to submit these reports to him. Immediately the meeting is over and you go back to your offices, this finance guy sends an email to confirm your conversation. For what? To confirm what? Don't you people trust each other? I find that happens a lot at workplaces, and it means that something is wrong. Something is wrong because people are trying to cover their let me not finish. Let me not finish that word. People are trying to cover themselves up, or you're trying to keep some sort of evidence in case someone decides not to do something, and they want to blame you. So you want to keep a record or some evidence to show that you had agreed that you're supposed to do this and that, and you're supposed to do this and that. But that is not right. There should be clear communication. There should be trust whenever people are working together. But if you're in such an environment and people like passing blames, do it by all means. Cover your yeah. Okay, let us proceed. Now, this one is related to what I've just talked about. It's about emails, and I don't know why people keep on abusing emails like this. Like, let's say an example again: an admin and a finance person. Let's say you're submitting a report. You're in admin. There's a report you're sending to a finance person so that maybe they can close the month. Now, instead of maybe sending it to the accountant only, you feel the need to copy the boss, the CFO. Why are you doing that? The CFO does not need that report. Why are you doing that? Again, you're covering your, yeah. So If that is happening in your organization, you're in a toxic work environment. People don't trust each other, and there's a tendency of people passing blames on each other. So, but if you have to do that, by all means, do it. But of course, it is not the right thing to do. The further sign that you are in a toxic work environment is not having a job description. When you got that job, did you sign a job description? Were you given an outline of your duties and responsibilities, or you are just there doing whatever is thrown at you? Like, how do they even measure that you have succeeded in your position if you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing? So if you're in a company and you don't have a written job description, it's time you asked for it. You can talk to your immediate supervisor or manager and tell them that you require a job description so that you can know what is expected of you. And of course, not everything can be in black and white. That's why the last responsibility in a job description or JD is any other duty assigned to you by your supervisor. But of course, all the key responsibilities should be in black and white. And when you fail to perform, then someone can come and ask you, why didn't you do this and that? And it's in your JD. Okay, let's move forward. The other sign that you are in a toxic work environment is not having an employment contract. I know this may sound as if it doesn't happen, but it happens a lot. There are so many people working out there and they do not have employment contracts. And there is nothing you can do about it because our job market is terrible. Like, you don't know what to do if you leave that job, or if you ask for an employment contract and they might decide to fire you for that. But if you are in a company and they haven't given you an employment contract, you should consider asking for one. And if you feel they will not provide, please start working on your exit strategy. That is not a good environment to be in, because someone can wake up today and decide to fire you, and there is nothing that you can do. Why? There is no agreement. You know, in an employment contract, that's where you will find clauses such as you'll be given 1 month notice before you're supposed to give 1 month notice before you resign, and the same happens to the employer. They're supposed to follow a certain process before even terminating you. In an employment contract, that's why you will find the working hours, the number of days that you're supposed to work in a week, the number of days that you're supposed to go on leave. But if you don't have an employment contract, chances are you're not going for offs, you're not taking your leaves, and you don't even know what you're entitled to. So ask for one. And if you feel you can't, please look for another job. There are opportunities for everyone out here. Okay? The next sign is no work-life balance. And if you're in a company that says you're like family here, you're like family, I hope for sure you are like family. And because the reason as to why I'm saying this, that phrase is abused in most cases. You know, when they say you are like family, it means that you can be called anytime at night. After all, they're your brothers and sisters. There are no boundaries. So, if there's no work-life balance, you're not allowed to take a day off, maybe 1 day off in a week. You don't go for leaves. You don't have family time. People keep on calling you even after working hours. I know it can happen. In some professions, sometimes you are likely to be on call even when you are at home. But this should not be happening every day. You should have time for family. Yeah, it's not. You cannot work like a robot 24/7. So if you're in a company and there is no work-life balance, please, you can think of ways on how you can leave that workplace. The other sign that you are in a toxic work environment is having low level titles. For example, let's say you're working in an organization, let's say it has 100 employees, and you've been given this job as a HR officer. HR officer. Now, there is no, you are the only HR personnel in that company, and you're given the title of a HR officer. And your work entails executing all the duties and responsibilities of a human resource manager. But for some reason, they're not giving you that title of a human resource manager. Why? Why are they not giving you the title of a human resource manager, and yet your job entails that? You know, that means that something is not right. It's either they do not want to pay you as a HR manager is supposed to be paid, or actually there's no other reason. I don't know why they would give you a low level title and yet your duties are of a very high responsibility. But this happens a lot, and if it's happening to you, please ask. It's important to ask, even when you go for these interviews, during salary negotiation. Don't just talk about salary, talk about things like title. Ask questions like, if you it's a human resource officer position, ask them, do you have a human resource manager? Do you have a assistant HR manager? Ask such questions. If they do not have a human resource manager and they're giving you the title of a human resource officer, you can ask, why are they giving you that title? Okay, you can also negotiate on other benefits such as medical cover and so on and so forth. That is a topic for another day. That is another topic that you people have requested me to address. So we are not going to go into details on that. And on this issue of titles, please note that your current title affects your future job. Now, let's say you are a human resource officer in your current position and you want to look for another job. Maybe it will be very easy for you to get a HR manager assistant position than a human resource manager. You'll get an assistant one because human resource officer is quite lower than assistant manager. Then you go to manager. So make sure you negotiate for a good title when you go for these interviews, or when you are at work and you feel that your responsibilities are of a higher level, you can always talk about that with your supervisor, because that can affect you in future when you're trying to get another job which is better. Okay. Another sign of toxic work environment is favorism. This happens a lot, and you find that various managers prefer working with certain kind of people, which is very much normal. As a human being, you might feel comfortable being around or working with certain personalities, but do not go overboard with it. Like you are using that opportunity to gossip about other employees, and it happens a lot. You find that so and so manager, like we can say who, operations manager, he clicks with John, James, and Caroline, so they're always together. You find even after work they are meeting, and they're not talking about their personal issues or even work related issues. They're there to discuss other employees, or what we call workplace politics and all that. So, and if you're a manager out there and that's what you're doing, that is very wrong and it's very demoralizing to other employees. It's important to treat all employees equally if you want them to perform. Okay? Number 9 sign that you're in a toxic work environment is sexual harassment. This happens a lot. It happens a lot and it's unsaid. In my profession, I've had people report about being sexually harassed by their bosses, but for some reason they do not want the case to be investigated, for they feel that nothing will be done or this boss is sort of untouchable. So this happens a lot, and it can even make an employee resign because you don't even know where to go. You don't feel comfortable even going to the HR because yes, we have HR offices, but are they functional? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? I've been there, and what I can say is that HR employees, HR personnel, they're just employees like any other. They have bosses, they follow instructions. There's so much that they would like to do for the employees, but they are not able to. Their hands are tied because at the end of the day, they want a pay at the end of the month. So, and I know it's a hard position to be in. It's never easy for a HR personnel. They really want to help you guys, but sometimes they are. So let's try and spare these HR people. Yeah, don't be too hard on them. Move to the final sign that you're in a toxic work environment. And the final sign, okay, we have more, but the final one that I have here is micromanagement. This is when your boss is not letting you breathe. Like they want you to submit a certain report, but they are on your case. They keep reminding you, have you finished? Have you finished? You know, when you give someone clear instructions, please let them work. Let them work in peace. Also, micromanagement entails when maybe you give your idea, your opinion, and it's not even taken into consideration. You feel like you are not valued. You are just there to be told what to do. Your contribution is not valued, and that is a position that so many people are in. Like they're just there to be told what to do. They're not making any contribution. Their opinions do not matter when it comes to decision making, and that is a sign that you're in a toxic work environment. So that is all we have for today. We're going to discuss more and more because there are so many signs to show that you're in a toxic work environment. You can share some that you are facing if I haven't addressed them, and you can also share your own story so that we can keep helping more and more people. Yeah, so that we can grow in our career.